You've been waiting for that package, maybe for weeks, right? Tracking it like crazy. And then you finally tear open the box. That dress, that jacket you wanted, only to find maybe a button's missing or the stitching looks wonky, or worst of all, you try it on and, well, your usual size feels completely wrong, like way too small or huge. It's more than just annoying for you. For the whole fashion industry, these garment returns, they're this massive, massive financial drain. They really hit profits hard, damage the brand's image, and honestly, they break that trust with customers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just a customer service headache. It's really a breakdown in the supply chain. Think about it. When something comes back, the brand eats the cost of shipping it out, shipping it back, inspecting it. And often, they can't even sell it again at full price. Maybe not at all. So this deep dive, it's our way to get smart about this fast. We're going to zero in on why clothes get sent back and, more importantly, pull out the real actionable things brands can actually do about it so you get the full picture of this whole challenge.
Okay, let's get into it then. We've looked at the data, the kind of research that groups like the ICSC often point to.
The International Council of Shopping Centers, yeah, they track retail trends globally.
Exactly. And what that data really shows is a pretty clear pattern. Most returns boil down to one thing. The product didn't meet your basic expectations. We're calling it the expectation gap.
That's a perfect way to put it. The research really hammers this home. Winning isn't about getting better at handling returns. It's about stopping them before they happen. And to do that, you've got to look at the three main ways that expectation gap opens up.
Right. We can kind of map out this landscape of disappointment, you could say, into three main zones. First off, the product itself. Quality issues. Was it damaged? Did it seem flimsy, like it would fall apart? Second, the real tricky one. Fit and sizing. Did it actually fit your body correctly? Feel right, look right? And third, the perception problem. Product mismatch and disappointment. Did the thing you got actually look like the thing you thought you were buying online?
Let's tackle quality issues first, because honestly, this feels like the most basic failure, the most sort of preventable one, operationally speaking. When we talk defects, yeah, it's the obvious stuff. Tears, stains, maybe a zipper that's just broken right out of the box. But the deeper issue is really about the manufacturing itself, the integrity of how it was made. We see these construction problems that just scream poor quality control back at the factory. Things like open seams,
No.
where the stitching just hasn't held or it's inconsistent, that garment's not going to last. There's even this specific one they mention, roping hems.
Roping hems. What exactly is that?
Yeah, it's where the thread tension's wrong when they sew the hem. So the edge of the fabric gets pulled unevenly, it twists, makes the hem look kind of cheap and distorted, especially after you wash it once. These aren't just tiny flaws. They're big signals that the brand's quality standards might be, frankly, too low.
And, quality is just one piece of the puzzle, especially when you're buying online. That second big reason, fit and sizing, that's where it gets really, really messy because it's actually two problems rolled into one, isn't it? There's inaccurate sizing and then there's inconsistent sizing.
Exactly.
Inaccurate is simple enough, right?
Yeah.
You order your usual medium based on their chart and it fits like an extra large or an extra small. Frustrating, but okay. But the inconsistent sizing, that's what really kills customer loyalty. Like you buy a small t-shirt in black, fits perfectly, you love it. So you think, great, I'll get it in blue and white too. Same size, same style.
Yeah.
But then the white one arrives and it's a bit tight and the blue one feels like a tent. Maybe the fabric was slightly different or they used a different factory.
Ugh, yes.
That lack of consistency within the same style is just maddening for a shopper. You feel like you can't trust the sizing at all.
And that nails the core challenge, especially for online shopping, which the research points out again and again. When you're buying clothes digitally, you struggle to really picture how it's going to hang, how it stretches, how it'll actually fit your body. You're basically relying on flat photos and maybe some measurements. It's guesswork.
Yeah.
And that is the single biggest hurdle for e-commerce trying to cut down returns. Now, if you link that sizing mess to the third big cause mismatch and disappointment, you see that expectation gap just getting wider and wider. This happens when the physical item just doesn't match what you saw online. Maybe the photo showed this gorgeous, vibrant emerald green, but what arrives is kind of a dull, muddy olive.
Right. Or the description said substantial knit, but it feels thin and, flimsy in your hands.
Exactly. That perceived difference.
It often gets called lower than expected quality. It might not be technically defective, like the seams are okay, the zipper works fine, but the feel of it, the overall quality you perceive, it just falls way short of what the price or those glossy photos made you expect. And that disconnect, especially around things like texture, the way the fabric drapes, even the color saturation.
Yeah.
That's almost a guaranteed return trip to the warehouse.
It really is. And it's crucial to remember these three things, quality, fit, mismatch, they cause most returns. But they're not the only things going on.
That's a good point. If we zoom out a bit, you also see, well, just basic human behavior and simple logistics playing a part. Think about impulse purchases or buyer's remorse. Online shopping is so easy now, isn't it? Click, click, done. Maybe buy now, pay later.
Too easy sometimes.
Yeah. It encourages people to buy stuff they might not really need or maybe haven't thought through. Then it arrives, the initial excitement fades, and they think, what was I thinking?
Or they do that bracketing thing.
Explain that.
Bracketing. That's when customers deliberately order, say, 3 different sizes of the same item, fully intending to keep only one and send the other 2 back.
Okay. So they're basically using their living room as the fitting room.
Precisely. And you could argue that's a direct consequence of brands not nailing strategy number 2, the sizing issue we just talked about. The customer is forced to use returns to figure out fit, which is incredibly costly for the retailer.
Makes sense. And then there are just plain old mistakes. Shipping errors. The data shows a surprising chunk of returns happen simply because the wrong thing got put in the box. Wrong size, wrong color, sometimes a completely different product.
Yeah, simple warehouse mix-ups.
Which feels like something that should be totally preventable, right?
Hey.
But it costs a brand time, money, and definitely loses them points with the customer.
So when you look at all these causes together, what really jumps out is that almost every return, whether it's a ripped seam or just feeling let down by the fabric, it comes down to the brand not delivering on a basic promise.
Yeah.
So if brands genuinely want to fix this huge cost center, they need to shift their focus. Stop worrying so much about making returns faster and start preventing the problem in the first place.
Okay, so how do they do that? Let's talk solutions.
Right. This brings us to the strategies. The research we looked at lays out 3 really key areas brands need to focus on. If they tackle these seriously, they can make a big dent in those return rates.
Okay, strategy 1. This goes right back to that first problem we talked about. Enhance quality control. This is all about stopping damaged or defective items from even getting shipped out. Basic, but critical.
Critical is the word.
And the sources are clear. This isn't just about a quick look at the end of the line. Quality control needs to be baked into the entire process. It means tough, documented checks at different stages of production. From when the fabric is cut right through to when it's packed.
Absolutely. It's about preventing defects before they happen, which is always, always cheaper than dealing with returns after they happen. Brands need super clear, measurable quality standards. They often use things like equal acceptable quality limit. Yeah, it's a statistical method to determine how many defects are acceptable in a batch. Brands need to set those limits and then really hold their suppliers to them. That means working closely with suppliers, doing regular audits, making sure that thread tension issue causing roping hems gets fixed consistently, making sure zippers are sewn in properly. Honestly, if you invest properly in getting the manufacturing right up front, you solve a huge chunk of your returns problem right there.
Okay, makes sense. Strategy 2 then moves to that other huge headache, master fit and sizing. We already talked about how inconsistency is just lethal for customer trust.
It is.
So this strategy demands this obsessive focus on consistency, standardizing sizes across everything they sell, even if items are made in different places.
Yeah, and that's tough.
But hang on, is that even realistic? I mean,
Right.
If a brand uses loads of different suppliers all over the world, different fabrics, can they really standardize sizing across everything? It seems incredibly hard.
You're right to push back on that. It is incredibly difficult, no question. But the research shows the brands that make progress, they invest heavily in it. They create standardized fit blocks, like a template for slim fit or relaxed fit that all their suppliers have to follow. It takes serious investment in things like pattern-making technology and constant communication with those suppliers. It's not easy, but it's essential for building that trust.
Okay, so standardized blocks help. What else?
Well, the really crucial tactical thing the research emphasizes is moving beyond just giving body measurements on size charts. You need to provide comprehensive guides that include the actual garment dimensions.
So the measurement of the clothing item itself.
Exactly. Tell the customer, this size medium shirt has a 42-inch chest measurement, flat on the table. Not just fits chest 38, 40 inches. That takes out so much guesswork.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
And then use really clear fit descriptions. Things like true to size, runs small on the shoulders, designed for a relaxed fit. Manage those expectations up front. Some brands are even getting into, 3D body scanning tech and virtual try-on tools to help customers visualize fit even better.
Which leads perfectly into strategy 3. Improve product descriptions and visuals. This is all about closing that gap between what you see on screen and what arrives in the box, right?
Yeah.
Fighting that mismatch and disappointment issue.
Precisely. Transparency is key.
So we need more than just the basics.
Yeah.
Descriptions need to be really detailed. Fabric composition, sure. But also describe the texture. How does it drape? Is it heavy, light?
Even the origin, sometimes, if that matters for quality perception. The research really flags that not being able to feel the fabric online is a major reason for that expectation gap.
And visually.
Visually, forget blurry or low-res photos. That's table stakes now. You need high-resolution pictures, multiple angles. Let people zoom right in on the stitching, the weave of the fabric. And critically, stop only showing clothes on one perfect model type.
Yes. Show it on a different body shapes.
Exactly. The sources really push for using diverse models so customers can get a better sense of how the fabric might stretch or hang on their body type.
Makes total sense.
But probably the biggest impact, visually. Video.
Showing it in motion.
Yeah, even short clips. Seeing the garment move, how someone walks in it, how the light catches the texture. It's incredibly powerful for setting realistic expectations about fit and drape before someone even clicks buy.
Okay, so those are the big 3 strategies. Quality control, fit and sizing, and descriptions visuals. But the sources also mentioned some other sort of tactical things.
Like
bonus measures.
Yeah, some extra layers of defense, you could call them.
Things like, common sense logistics and using customer feedback better. First, just packaging things properly. Seems obvious, but if you spend all this effort on QC, don't let the item get crushed or wrinkled in transit.
Right. Don't fumble at the finish line.
Second, really encourage customer reviews that specifically talk about fit and size, and then show those reviews clearly on the product page.
Let new buyers learn from people who've already bought it. That's super valuable social proof. And the last bonus one is about immediate help, live chat support. Having knowledgeable agents available who can quickly look up specific garment measurements or give advice on fit for a particular body type that can stop a bad purchase decision in its tracks.
Right. If someone's asking detailed questions, they're probably unsure. A quick chat could prevent a return right there.
Exactly. It's real-time intervention.
So this whole deep dive, it really comes back to closing that expectation gap, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Building confidence. Success means nailing those 3 things. Tough quality checks, focusing on how it's made, being obsessive about consistent sizing using actual garment measurements, and being totally transparent with descriptions and photos showing exactly what you're selling. So what does it all boil down to? It's about trust, isn't it? Delivering what you promised every single time.
It is. And if you connect all this back to the bigger picture, the heavy focus in the research on physical defects, the zippers, the seams, the hems, it really points back to the factory floor. The articles touch on related work around material science, developing strong seams, durability testing, lab tests for things like shrinkage. And that underlying reality, it suggests something pretty profound, I think. We talk a lot about sizing and marketing, which are important, don't get me wrong. But the most frequent triggers for returns are often these really basic physical failures of the product itself.
Yeah.
So considering how often returns are caused by defects that affect the actual structure and usability of the garment, how much of this whole returns crisis is fundamentally a problem of manufacturing quality and durability? Maybe it's less about just marketing or fancy return policies and more about the integrity of the garment itself. It certainly raises a big question for brands looking at long-term success and sustainability.
That is a tough question, and one that really forces brands to look past the glossy website and dig into the nuts and bolts of how their clothes are actually made.